Happy New Year, beautiful people, and welcome to 2026. This is Dr. Renessa Short with Conversations with Chosen Pen, and I am excited to have you as our special guest throughout this first quarter of the new year. The theme is Women to Watch, the 2026 edition, and each month we have a specific focus. We're going to kick this quarter off in the month of January, introducing you to the Divas of DeSoto County, Mississippi. These entrepreneurs and thought leaders are making a difference, and I cannot wait to introduce you to each and every one. In the month of February, we're focusing on leaders with heart. These women are advocates for causes that they are extremely passionate about. Each one lives in a different state. Each one has a phenomenal platform, and you're going to learn more about their work in their communities. In the month of March, we're going to close out the quarter with lights, camera, action. Each one of these women are engaged in the arts community. They are either writers or producers or directors or agents. They are award winners. I cannot wait for you to meet them. The entire quarter is already booked. Needless to say, I'm excited, and I want you to join us each Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Not only do I want to see you join us, but I want you to invite a friend. Welcome to 2026. Let's get this exciting quarter started. Make it a great day, and I look to see you soon. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Chosen Pen. Listen, it is the 2026. Happy New Year, beautiful people. Listen, if my intro did not excite you, you need to check your pulse, because everybody should be showing up every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, just to meet these women that we all need to keep our eye on. And I'm excited about kicking off this quarter in a new city, in a new state, in a new place. Yes, I do live in DeSoto County, Mississippi. And so why not kick off this quarter, this year, with the Divas of DeSoto County, with none other than the diva herself, Miss Denise Silas. Denise, introduce yourself like you always do.
Hello. I am the dynamic, daring, one-of-a-kind diva, Denise Silas, all the way from Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Listen, Denise and I have history. And we haven't quite figured out, I don't think we actually figured out how much history, but we could say at least a decade of history. Yes. That would be safe, right? At least a decade. Yes. And so, when I came back to the state, she was already here. When I left the state, she didn't live here. So she came here, and then I was gone, and now I'm back. And she was like, she was glad I was back. I'm glad I'm back. We were very much a part of a very fantastic direct sales company. We were leaders in the company. We did the doggone thing. So to be in a space where we want to encourage, empower, to motivate, to be a source of inspiration for other people, it's just what we do. It's in our DNA. Denise, tell them about you. Who are you, Miss Denise Miller Silas?
Awesome. I am excited to be on here, and I am really excited to have you here in DeSoto County with me. But who am I? I am a woman who is excited about empowering women to be the best version of themselves in this current season of their lives. I am the founder of Empowered by DS, which is a company I run with my daughters to just help support women to create community and connections. I am an advocate of just helping women to shine. They say that I am flipping switches and pushing buttons. So my goal is to help you shine brightly and push you out of your comfort zone so that you can be all that God has called you to be, do, and have.
Denise, one of the things I know with certainty, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is that whatever gifts, talents, and skills you've developed in whatever course of life that you may find yourself in, they are transferable. And with you and your daughter starting Empowered by DS, it's just like a different vehicle. You're still doing what you've always done for
always
what
yes.
But it's in a different vehicle, just like with me with this Conversations with Chosen Pen and being in the public space, supporting people and getting their signature book, the coaching, the things of that nature, the encouragement. It's a part of what I've been doing for I don't know how many years. I'm just using the same gifts and talents in a different space. So I want to commend you. I've been watching from afar. When I was on the other side of the globe, honestly, when I was on the East Coast. And I remember you and your girls, your daughters, your adult daughters, they're not girls, they're grown women, starting this initiative. And then it's like it picked up speed. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, because initially it wasn't supposed to be nothing. Like it was just really God just calling me to, step outside of that pink bubble to there's other women who need us.
Right.
Just needed the support that I was already receiving, but they were just kind of out trying to figure it out. And it was exciting to be able to take it and do what I've always done, empowerment breakfasts. And then so the beginning of it wasn't even to be anything until then we got in it. And the first year was okay, let's see what's we're doing. The second year is like okay, start picking up. So yes, definitely just the momentum. And I think through the process you just figure it out as you go,
Yeah,
right?
you do.
So a lot of times people are waiting to figure out what am I supposed to do. You just got to do something
Just
and
start.
just start. And if that's not the thing, it'll lead you to the thing, and then you get better in the thing, and the thing just continues to evolve. So excited about the space, as we're going into our third year, about what this year has come and some great things. What's today? The 6th?
Today
Oh
will
my
be the
gosh.
6th. Yes.
Just some amazing things have already happened. Nothing I've been praying for, nothing I didn't even realize that someone would want me to do. It's just been amazing already.
I can
Already.
believe it. I can believe it. Seemed like 2026 took off for me at the very onset. I want to say this to you, and I think I've conveyed this message, but I want to say it here in this space is that, when I left the DeSoto County, Memphis, Mid South area in, I don't know, 1994, I moved it around a lot. I've lived in several different cities, and I've lived in more than one state. And starting over in a new city is always interesting. And you know this because
Mhm.
you moved as well. And I always, like the first or second time I moved to a new place, it was just pretty much the same. It was because of my job. Everything centered around and extended from the people that I work with. But then the third move, I was like, I don't even like these people at my job. I need to find another way, another catalyst, another vehicle to use to
Mhm.
meet new people, to connect in my community and that type of thing. And so the pink bubble, as we refer to it, was that vehicle. But
Right.
then the next time I moved, which was the move prior to this one, I went to North Carolina. I didn't use that. I used myself as the seed planted. And
Mhm.
I immediately went into full effect. I said, I want to meet people. I want to connect with organizations. I want to be a part of these, maybe the March of Dimes walk or the Alzheimer's walk, to just connect with people, be on their planning board. That's what I did. I didn't show up as Anissa, part of the pink bubble, or Alfonso's wife. I showed up as Anissa, the person who loves to meet people. And that made my stay in North Carolina easy. It was like
Mhm.
totally unlike any other move. So coming home, and this is where you kick in. I didn't have an issue with coming home. I got too much family,
Mhm.
but I did not want to just be centered in family exclusively. I wanted to be outside of that familiar territory.
Mhm.
And I said, well, who better to hang out with than Denise? I'm going to a lunch or brunch or something. And so, as a result of doing that and attending your Empowered by DS events, I was able to
Mhm.
immediately connect with the Chamber of Commerce through you, which are the things I would already do. But because you were here and you had already paved the way, as the people say, laid out the plan and paved the way, I could just say, hey, listen, she my friend. Y'all gonna like me too, that kind of thing. So thank you for stepping outside of your comfort zone to do something different, because you offered me, and I'm sure many others, a vehicle by which to connect and create community. So I
Aw-
wanted to make sure I said that.
Awesome. Awesome.
Now, speaking of community, a few, maybe was it 2 years ago, year and a half ago? Ta-da! Denise
Yay.
was a part of this collective. This is a project that I curated, the Becoming the Shiro Motherhood Mantle Edition. These lovely ladies on the back were my co-authors, and if you look closely, I'm sure you can see Denise in this group.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Denise and I said, I want you to be on this project. And she was like, huh?
Right.
Tell them what that was like for you.
So first of all, if people who know me know, I always say numbers are my gifts. Like I was like, oh, I'm not a writer and all that kind of stuff. So even the fact of being asked to participate in something, because if you don't know many authors, she's like, oh my gosh, being an author, oh, people are writing books, like that sound so far from anything that I had even imagined or even think would be a part of something I would do. And then when we started doing the project, I was like, oh my gosh, and this like I think I just now. Can you clarify what I'm supposed to do? I think I probably asked you like 4 or 5 times,
You
like
did.
because
Yes.
I was concerned that it wouldn't, I wouldn't be on the right path. It wouldn't make sense with the other people, like all those things. And she was like, just put it out there from your own heart, and I
Yeah.
promise you, it will all come together. And just doing that, and then being able to, I shared it with my best friend to have her, look at it. Girl, does this make sense? And she's like, I could follow the story like I was there because she knows so much about me. She's like, I
Yeah.
just felt like a role playing it out. So just giving that opportunity, I thank you. You just be excited about having people in your life that stretch you, like
Yeah.
that, just pull you to a different level. So thank you for seeing something in me and just say, girl, come on, and
For
just do it
flipping your
from your
switch
perspective.
and pushing your button.
Right, 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 right. Sometimes we need to be flipped too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I appreciate it. It was a, and then the meeting the other women, and then being able to invite my friends who had lost their moms to be able to be a
Yeah.
part. Like it was
You
just a
took it
whole
and ran
experience.
with it, Denise. Now let me just set this up, you guys, because she had a lot of reservation. She really did, and that's not uncommon. So I was not, intimidated by that. I did not, I didn't not at any point in time that I said, well, that's okay if you don't want to do
Right.
it.
She
I'm
didn't
like,
feed
no,
into it. She didn't
no,
feed into it.
no, you're gonna do this. I know your story. Your contribution to this book is going to make a difference, and Denise, you could attest to it. Everybody's story was different, but they blended so well, right? But Denise, being who she is, she took it to the next level. She just couldn't write her story. What she did, and I love what you did, because this is what I do when I coach even my publishing clients. You've got to take the book itself as a vehicle. It's not the
Mhm.
end of the road.
Right.
And so what Denise did was dedicated her chapter to the memory of her mom, and then invited others to do the same. Denise, where did that idea come from?
Oh, I think you had said to how can you it's something you asked us to do, and about it's almost like the letting people, the pre-launch of it. It was, I think it was the pre-launch,
Okay,
you know
okay, yeah,
it was a pre-launch. And so through that process, I was like, instead of just asking people, like, how can I engage people
right,
to be a part of it, so it'd be more of a personal experience. And just made a list of all the friends that I knew that had lost their mom, or some had just recently lost. It was just a variety
mm-hmm,
of people, and
mm-hmm.
just let them know the project that I was doing. And we were given the opportunity to be able to have others to do it in their mom's memory. And then I got pictures, like it just made a whole dedication to it. And just the feedback I got from some women, especially the ones who had just recently within that last year had
Yeah,
lost their mom, was amazing. Just
yeah,
you just never know what God is going to do with what, or why He
right,
gives you the vision or the thought.
right, right.
It's bigger than just I'm just going to ask people. Like it really helped to. I think it gave some healing for people
It did. I can
through
believe
that
that.
process. So
I can believe that. One of the things that I did when I initiated not only this project but becoming the Shiro, this was the third of three. It's a series, really. Becoming the Shiro, there's the entrepreneurial edition, there is Becoming the Shiro, the military edition, and then I sealed it with the motherhood mantle. And each one of those books serve as a source of empowerment and encouragement to women. Women wear so many different hats. They're from so many different vantage
right.
points. Some are moms, some are not. Some desire to be moms. Some are military, some are not, but they may be in leadership capacity in some other, in some other vehicle. Some are entrepreneurs, some are career professionals, but we have a common denominator as people. And so I always encourage with these types of projects for people to share their story, because your story is what resonates. Our stories are what connect us. Our
Mhm.
stories are the vehicles that God used to really attest to the fact that we're all human.
Mhm.
My challenge, my interesting life may not be the same as yours, but there's so many things that we can relate to if we are willing to be transparent and authentic and share our stories. And that's what those books did. But not only that, Denise, you took it to another level. You supersized it by inviting others to be a part of the project. Even though they may not have been co-authors, they were a part of the project. And you created that beautiful video with the theme music and the mom's faces. And then didn't you have like a luncheon or something? All of that together, was that a part of your collective?
I remember doing something. I don't remember if it was around. that specifically, or that was a
Okay.
part of something
Of
else.
something else. I got you. I
Yes.
got you.
Uh,
Gotcha. Well, I cannot wait for you to publish your own book and facilitate your own project. Hint, hint, hint. But we're gonna
yeah.
move on. Let's talk a little bit more about Empowered by DS. You introduced it to us earlier, and that it was a thing that really was not supposed to be a thing, but it grew into a thing. And
Right.
so it's something that you and your daughters do together, and you host these varied events. Talk a little bit about those events.
So the whole purpose of where it started off was just the empowerment breakfast. So that was something that we did a lot in our pink bubble. So I just
Yeah.
took the skills, right? It goes back to taking the skills that you own, what you're familiar with, and moving and transferring them into a different space.
Right.
So that's how I started, because that's something I knew to do, and went from there. So then after doing the Saturday morning events, and that's really was focused on, the professional development, the whole around your personal growth, the woman, her individual self, and being their best version. And then the next year, I introduced the Diva Dinner and Dialogue because someone said that they couldn't go on a Saturday morning. So I introduced something on a Friday night. And the funny thing about it, that person still hasn't come to anything. Ain't that something? But she was the catalyst. Like,
Imagine
it
that.
was exciting. And
Right.
I just thank God for her to introduce that thought process. So
Right.
that was something to offer for women, more of a social scene. So not only to look at your personal self, but this is the environment to show you that we're more alike than different. So how
Right.
we collectively are trying to be our best version collectively. And then after that, I introduced the Let's Talk About It Tuesday. So it's just been, um, and that came from that one specifically, which is an every week thing, came because I knew there was more topics and more things that I wanted to do to support women. I couldn't do it. There was no others, I was only doing a quarterly. I couldn't do, so there's only so much time with that. And
Right.
there is only so much that I know, right?
Right.
So I needed to provide a space where I can bring other people in. So that Let's Talk About It Tuesday has allowed us to do all kinds of topics. And then you get texts from people that say, "Oh my gosh, girl, that's something I was dealing with. I didn't know what to do with it."
Right.
Just, I mean, just the variety of that. So we just continue. And my daughter says this statement all the time. She said, every time you say that, I'd be like, "Oh Lord, what did I say?" But she says this, and this is what I have used for us to grow and empower by DS. You reserve the right to get better. Like,
I
that
love
has
that.
been the thing to, so if I felt it on my heart, I just would try it. I wouldn't have all the ideas, I didn't have all the people, and I would just try it, and then understood that I had the capacity to revise it if I needed to. So it didn't have to be perfect. I didn't have to have it exactly right. But I
Right.
always was like, okay, I can just do a little better. Okay, we keep tweaking it, and we keep tweaking it,
Right.
as
Right.
he continues to lead us to just have the desire to, get in front of more women, to not to
Exactly.
entertain them, but to impact them.
Right. Right. That's now what tell me again, is it you reserve or you deserve?
You reserve,
You
reserve,
reserve. I'm gonna put that on the screen. That deserve that needs to be on the screen at all times. You
and you
reserve the
reserve
right
the
to
right
get
to
better.
do that.
I love that. One of the things that you and I both know is that in working with women, especially, we tend to downplay. We tend to hide behind fears or insecurities, and we
Mhm.
need to be in environments that, as you say, flip switches and push buttons. We need to be in those circles that will challenge us to take things to the next level, to get better, to become
Right.
better versions of ourselves. I was a part of a retreat in December in Wichita, Kansas. Shout out to Dr. J. Michelle Van. And there was a young lady who was one of the speakers, Miss Denise, who referenced, she had a phrase, girls, check your circle, is what she said.
Mhm.
Check your circle. And Denise, we've heard that before. You're much like the five people that you hang with most commonly, communicate with. And basically, what I see as your platform of Empowered by DS is a circle, a community that people can be a part of to become better versions of
Yes.
themselves.
Yes.
And, whether it be the luncheons or whether it be the breakfast or the dinner and dialogue, or like your vision board event you had this past week, regardless of what you call it, the ultimate objective is for you to leave with the reassurance that you are capable, you are gifted, you are talented, and the world needs you. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yes, that definitely would be a fair assessment. And then there's people around you who support you in that process. So
Right.
that's the other piece of it, right? Is that you're not here alone. We are part of a
Right.
big old puzzle, and I believe you hold a piece of the puzzle. So
Right.
understanding that two people, two different ways as someone described it to me, and this because you can always have a desire to want to do something, but it's what is the people receiving, right? So I
Right.
had one young lady who said that I have provided the space for the like-minded women to find each other.
That's good.
So
That's true.
that was a blessing in my heart. And then somebody else said it's just you've provided a safe space for us to talk about some things that often we can't even talk about with our close family and friends.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that did my heart really good because to grow, one, you have to even be around people who, because someone else said this. She said, to come into an environment where I just freshly know people and they celebrate me for the
Hmm.
things that I have accomplished versus feeling like, um, downplaying it, or she's just she said, I've never been in that type of space.
Yeah.
So, we're celebrating growth. We're celebrating ooh, girl, that ain't right. And we talk
Yeah.
about the
Right.
stuff, how
Right.
you tell the friend that that ain't about right. So what you need to do about it. So just being able to let women know they're not alone and we are excited for you. We want to see
Yeah.
you grow and we're here to celebrate you and support you
Yeah.
through that
I
process.
love it. I love it. That and all of that in a bag of chips, and then you get to eat. Now I've only been to dinner dialogue. Wait a minute. Did I say that right?
Diva.
Divas dinner and dialogue. I've not attended an empowerment breakfast, but I do look forward to it. And because of my attendance and participation, I will say this, that in this entire month, my showcase are the Divas of DeSoto County. And all except for one are women. Well, except for two, because I already knew you. And then there's another that I've already known. But the other two are women that I met through your events.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah, and
what's
so that's what it's all about. It's really about, making the connections and building upon the relationships in whatever capacity for which you can. What's up next, Denise? I'm going to go to your website. I mean, not your website, your Facebook group and share that. But what do you have going on? Look, I know you got something going on. You may want to tell the world. What can we look forward to?
So we look forward to in February and March. I got to lock in my venue date, so y'all be praying for that. But we have our Galentine's Day event in February, so it's targeted for February 21st. I think it's the Saturday. Then we
Okay.
have the in March, we'll be celebrating Women's Month. So we'll have another Divas Dinner and Dialogue. In April, we'll do our day away retreat. So be looking for that. And we're going to Birmingham. And let's talk about friends in your circle
Oh,
that give you great
oh,
ideas.
oh,
Oh my gosh. So my girlfriend Anissa had posted something about doing something. This is why you had to have just good people in your network. So when she was in North Carolina, she was planning this trip to go down to the beach. I was like, Lord, the beach is too far from us. Like, how can I make this happen? So really mimicking what my friend was doing. I think I called you and asked you about it and
you
everything.
did. We had a big conversation. You was like,
We
what is this? And I told her, and she went, oh my God.
And so we did our first retreat last April. We went to Nashville for a day, literally did the retreat on the bus, just like my girlfriend coached me to do. And then we got there and we had lunch. We did a scavenger hunt, did the mall, did dinner, and came back home. So now we're creating, that's going to be our one of our signature events, our day away retreats. And we're going to Birmingham at the end of April. So we're finalizing the dates for that as well.
Let me go ahead and put that in my calendar
Yeah.
right now.
So it's I'm looking at the very last weekend of April. In
Okay.
April is for the date for that. So we're excited about that. Also, text talk to 662-212-5851. And that's our weekly Let's Talk About It Tuesday conversation. We either have experts on there or people, their testimonies on there. This month is all about getting your year off to a great start, goal setting. I'll be interviewing some of the ladies in the Decide tribe, just how they push through some. I get to know a lot of women, their personal situations, right? And
Hmm.
just to see and be able to still celebrate how they're accomplished some great things. So we're going to do that through the month of January. So definitely engage with us that way as well. And then you always, if you engage with us on Tuesday, you always know what's the actual dates and what's upcoming. We're
Yeah.
introducing some new offers and stuff like it's this year, I'm just like, Lord, I just keep praying, Lord, just give me the courage to step into who you're calling me to be
I
and to accept
know.
these opportunities at the level that you want me to as well.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You are doing it. Okay, so tell us about the box,
Oh,
the
yeah.
subscription box. You can't forget that.
Can't forget that. Okay, so our Empower Me subscription box is a part of our way to really not, because we do a lot of in-person events, right? But I have the opportunity to still have women in my network, in my tribe, that are not local. So
Right.
we introduced the empowerment subscription box. It's a quarterly box, and with that, it's always we always have a theme. Our theme right now is grace over grind. Um,
I love it.
and it's always a themed T-shirt. We curate this calendar. Well, it's like a journal calendar where the only thing that you can put in there is things that relates to your heart's desire. Because we as women get
Right.
to be doing everything for everybody, but it really keeps you focused on what's important to you, like really like what's important. And then every week you can only put things in this journal that relates to you getting closer to that goal. It may even be something as simple as I need to Google where to, what's happening in Birmingham, like just real simple stuff. Girl, thank you. Real simple stuff. But sometimes it's just those little steps that we don't realize can help us make progress. So in doing that, it's always it's self-care, fun, good stuff, but also intentional stuff. It always have
Right.
affirmations in it, always have scriptures relating to the affirmations. Like it's things that we sit, we relax, and then we regroup every quarter to help
Right.
us to the places we want to be.
I love that. I absolutely. I don't have the subscription box. I am like one, but I do have two cute mugs as a result of attending the Divas
And we
Dinner and
can
Dialogue. Look, I'm gonna have my own set after a while.
right.
Yeah,
And you
but
can get the empowerment boxes too as gifts. So
oh,
even if you
okay.
don't want to get, subscribe to it to let it come
Oh,
to your
that's
house every
true. That's
quarter,
oh my gosh, that is smart. That's very
you can.
smart. And they're very economical, I will say
Yes,
that. So
yes,
here's what I want you guys to do that might be watching or either watching the replay later. I need you to just go to her Facebook page right now and just join. So start following because
yes,
once you do that, everything is going to be made available for you
yes.
to stay in the know. And then once you begin to plug in, there is another group that you could be a part of, but you can't be a part of it and just you have to be a part of the community, right?
Right.
So we'll talk more about that. But here's the Empowered by DS. I love this picture. This is out in front of the South Haven Chamber because Denise is, oh Lord. Okay, so she's a chamber member, but she's an ambassador, but she is, I don't know, she needs to wear a crown because everybody knows Denise as a result of being a part of the chamber. But this is the ribbon cutting.
Yes,
The South Haven Chamber is outstanding on how they support small business and
yes.
they support their community. So find Empowered by DS on Facebook so you can begin to follow to
On
stay
all
in
social
the
media platforms.
yeah, on all media platforms. Empowered by DS is there. We got a comment here. Let me see what this comment says. Okay, Dr. Terry Lane Hunt. Dr. Terry is one of my, I think you met her at my ribbon cutting.
Yes,
She
yes,
has
yes,
awesome
yes.
information. Dr. Terry, go ahead and cross out that last Saturday in April because we're going to be on the bus going to the one-day retreat. I'm looking forward to that. I was going to ask you, as a matter of fact, Denise, about the one-day retreat because, of course, because of the conversation you and I had prior to, and you having gone to Nashville for your very first. I was like, well, I need to know when the next one is because if anybody's gonna be on the bus, I'm gonna be on that bus, right? So Birmingham, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
And if you need me to help you, with the planning or anything, let me know. But I am excited about being here to see things up close and personal. I live vicariously through your life via Facebook. And of course, we had our other community that we hung out and did car karaoke and traveled and, hung out and went to conferences and were roommates and things of that nature. But to be able to work in this capacity to serve as a source of support and then to benefit, honestly, I don't have to be involved in that capacity. I can be your cheerleader as well as a participant. And so moving back home has been a blessing for me, but to be able to connect with you and many others in this capacity is just like the cherry on the sundae. It really is for me. Any last comments that you want? Oh, okay, here we go. Here's another comment. another familiar name, definitely going to be on the bus. That's right, Carol. Save
I
me a
just
seat.
told Carol, where did I see Carol? I was with Carol. Oh, at the breakfast. And said, Carol, me, you, and Anissa need to meet quarterly for lunch.
I
Like
like it. Let's do
we
it.
need to, and the blessing thing about this, and I tell you, I mean, you just never know where God is going to lead your relationships,
Right.
how things can become full circle. And one thing I will say about, when we were doing our journey in the pink bubble and just being able to spend time together, just having, those power partners in your life, people, that was the one space where you can say that you can have conversations, the full gamut, your finances, your, the fun of your life, your relationships. I mean, the support system was
Right.
amazing. A lot of that was kind of who we are today. When you agree,
Yeah, I
that
do.
was the
Totally
best
agree.
training.
Hmm.
Although we don't serve in the same capacity that we have in the past. I 100% would tell you, if you probably walk in there like, is this a Mary Kay thing going on? Like, because all the stuff we do to celebrating women, to empower women, came
Yeah.
from my roots, because I didn't do that before. I'm an accountant by
No.
trade, right?
Right.
I'm
Right.
an accountant by trade, but just that environment of learning how to support people, learning how to empower
Exactly.
people, learning how to celebrate people,
Exactly.
even when you're
Exactly.
not doing well,
I know.
because
Right.
that God is in the room, right?
Yeah.
Just
Right.
and then the relationships that you built along the way. So to have you back, I mean, this is just crazy to me to have you back. And when you had said, yeah, my family live in DeSoto County, I was like, really? I still never imagined that you would be
Yeah, at
that we
that
would all
time, I
be.
probably wasn't even thinking about, because I was in another part of Mississippi, then I went to a totally different state, you
Right,
know.
right,
But yeah, we just never know. I do believe that when God brings people into your life, it's for a reason, season, or for a lifetime, and all of it serves us well. It just so
right.
happens that it looks like that you and Carol are going to be the lifetime, and I'm not upset with that. I'm okay with that. It's good for me, and I do agree with the quarterly lunch, Carol. So if you're watching, you go ahead and let us know, because she know all the restaurants.
And she got to want to tell us that she's gonna be in the state.
Yeah,
How
right,
about that?
because she's jet setting it all over. She's
Right.
what is it? What's that commercial? Jet Blue Holiday. She's
I
always on the
I
go.
start the conversation. Are you gonna be in town? Like,
You,
are
you
you gonna be in town? That's how I start our conversation.
you have to start it off that way.
She
All
said
right,
yes about
so
the breakfast. Yeah, the lunch.
so I'm gonna repeat again. You guys find Empowered by DS on
Yeah.
all social media platforms so you can stay in the loop as to what Denise has going on. You will not regret it. I promise you.
Oh,
Plug in, stay. We need each other.
yes.
I will go into the I need you, but I don't want to sing. You get it. We're all in here, all in this thing together. April
Yeah.
is the 1 day retreat. You don't want to miss that. March, celebrating women because it's Women's Month. Just find the Facebook page, the social media page, and plug in and stay up, and just
Yeah.
grab your calendar and go ahead and plug in the days. And you
Yeah.
just might see me there. I don't know. You just might. Any last comments you want to share, Denise, before we close out?
As we starting off this new year, you guys, just make a decision. Make a decision. One of my big things now is capacity. Protect your capacity. Figure out what God has in store for you. Not in store for you. What God has called you to do, so that you can be get yourself in position to be a part of this world. We are all a puzzle piece. You just got to figure out where your puzzle piece fits and who you're supposed to be connected to, because we're all assigned to individuals.
I love it. I absolutely agree. Totally. And remember, you guys, you reserve the right to get
Yes.
better.
Yes. I'm
So
so
as we go and embrace this new 2026, I think we should all push to be better versions of ourselves. And
yes.
that's not necessarily your better is identical to my better, but when we feel better about ourselves and we've grown in some capacity, we all win. And that's what it's all about. So thank you once again, my
Yes.
friend, the
Yes.
diva Denise Silas, all
Yes.
the way from Olive Branch, which is the other end of Goodwin Road. But
And
anyway, thank you.
empowering. Yes, we're empowering people to be the best version of themselves in this current season of their lives.
I
Yes.
love it. I love
Yes.
it. Well, you guys don't forget every Tuesday, 6 p.m. East Central, 6 p.m. Central. I will be right here, same place, same time. Conversations with Chosen Pen, where we amplify the voices of authors, entrepreneurs, and speakers, and we talk about and talk with a lot of phenomenal people that are working to make a difference. Okay, and I have to share this comment from my awesome husband. Great interview, shares information as well as insight to positive living and outcomes. Thanks so much, babe. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for hanging out with us in this space. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. We're growing this community in 2026. And I don't want you to miss the Women to Watch, the 2026 edition. Make
Love
it a
it.
great night,
Thank
everybody.
you.